Do you often feel as though you are powerless to bring about change? It is a common feeling in our world today. Susan Inches is a writer who lives in North Yarmouth who's out with a new book called Advocating for the Environment, How to Gather Your Power and Take Action. And she's with us here on 207 to talk about it. Thanks for coming in. It's good to have you here.
Well, thank you, Rob. Great to be here.
First, a little bit about your background. You worked in state government here in Maine for many years. You were in the planning office. You were in the Department of Marine Resources. If it weren't for that kind of background of seeing how the wheels of government turn and how things happen, would you have been able to write this book?
I would not have been able to write the book because a lot of it's based on my experience in Augusta, working with all kinds of different people there. So there's a lot in there about how these things work.
So you saw the push and pull. You saw what governors do, legislators do, and what common citizens do. Now you write on page 2 of the book at the very beginning, if humanity focuses on a vision of the world as we truly want it, our chances of getting there are greatly enhanced. There would be a lot of cynics out there who would say, Sue, come on, do you really believe that?
Well, I do, because if we can't imagine something, then how can we move towards it? So I think it is really important, and I think environmentalists often get accused of being against a lot of things. We're sort of a party of no, if you will, but actually we need to envision a healthy future, and by doing that, we can start moving towards it.
You've got a lot of common sense tips in the book, really practical advice for how to, as we said, effect change. One of the things that you emphasize is the importance of story.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Oh my goodness, there are many meanings to that. For one thing, our stories of connection to the earth are what really ground us. I mean, this is what motivates me to do the work. It's my stories of going to the North Woods and camping out and seeing those stars. These are the things that keep me going. But then those stories also are really important when you're talking to decision makers. In fact, a legislator told me the other day, he said, you know, when I go to vote on an issue, it's not the facts and data that I remember, it's the stories people told me.
So if you're talking about, say, climate change, and you say, well, the temperature of the Gulf of Maine could rise by 1.7 degrees in the next 30 years, that may not mean anything. But if you say to people, Maine's lobster communities may be devastated by changes in the Gulf of Maine, then that'll get their attention.
Absolutely, and that's already happened with the shrimp industry. I think we're in our 4th or 5th year of no shrimp season. So there's a perfect example of where it really impacts people and changes their life story.
As we said at the beginning, people often feel, you know, taking on the government, it's a big bureaucracy. One person can't make a difference. But you make the point that just a small number of people reaching out to, in Maine, state senators or state representatives can sway how they vote.
That's absolutely true. In fact, almost every legislator will tell you that 5 or 10 phone calls will make a big difference in how they move on an issue. It will get their attention, it will alert them, and it may even change their view. So it doesn't take that much.
5 or 10 phone calls, it's not a lot. It's not a lot.
Right.
The book is particularly aimed at people who are trying to bring about change in environmental policy, but this can work really in any arena, right? If you have people who want to get more after-school programs at their town library, they can go to the town council and use a lot of the tips that you put forward, right?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, the principles in here of social change and how you can participate in making change happen, those can be applied to any issue, really. I mean, I've been focused on the environment, but there are many other issues that are equally important that people can use these ideas for.
One thing that's a reality in our world right now is that, or in our country right now, is that we are in a polarized, divided nation. People on the left, people on the right, they can't agree on what time of day it is. How can that gap be bridged as people are working toward a common goal?
Well, you know, I have a whole program on that, but there are a few sort of tips that I can say right here, and one of them is if you're in a situation where there's a polarized conversation going on, one way to cut through that is to talk about people's personal experiences. So for example, if you are talking to a climate denier, you can say, have you noticed that the ice goes out of our lakes probably 2 weeks earlier than it used to? And why do you think that is? So getting on that human level, kind of trying to reach the heart, which is the story part of it as well, that can cut through a lot of the kind of entrenched beliefs that are out there.
Democracy is a participatory activity. We're not meant to be on the sidelines, and this is a book that will help people get into action.
Absolutely.
Sue Inches, thanks so much for coming in. Again, the name of the book is Advocating for the Environment. We've got more information about it on our website and our app. Stick around, back with more of 207 in just a moment.